Good morning. Got your coffee? I've got mine. That good Jamaican blend. Jamaican Blue Mountain. Thank you, T and Taylor. Anyway, listen, before I get started, I want to say thank you so much to Diva Journey. You came through right when I needed you to come through. And you're part of the reason why I'm up this early. It's about a little after 5 a.m. Today is a free day, but not a free day. It just means that it's a day that I don't have to drive my husband into work. So I can just get up and start working. And so I have senior bags. And not only that, but I guess we're starting to do mother bags now. I don't know what I would call those, but they're bags that the mothers want with diapers and wipes and other goodies and essentials and toiletries. And so we have the means to do that. And so what I'm going to do is, you said put it wherever I want to put it. And I'm going to put half of that towards that. So thank you so much for coming through for both me and the library pantry in such a big way. I appreciate you. You are one of my strongest supporters. And I hope I never do or say anything to offend you. Because sometimes the truth can't do that. And speaking of the truth, I'm going to tell the truth right now. Over in the room, the reason why I started that is because I wanted a meeting place, a gathering place for Black people. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that everyone has to agree with my perspective, but I do consider myself to be someone that will make you think about things in a way that you maybe didn't think about things before you engaged in a conversation with me. We talked a lot about things like internalized racism over here. And I want to start having some conversations about internalized patriarchy and internalized misogyny, or in the case of Black women, internalized misogynoir. And I hold your hand when I say this. Some of you, for whatever reason, you would have to dig deep down inside yourself, because I'm not you. But some of you have a difficult time being in support of Blackness. And that's a question that you have to ask yourself. You're going to have to sit in a corner somewhere, quiet, meditate, burn some incense, some sage, and you're going to have to pray to your ancestors about why that is. There have been a couple of instances where I have posted and asked for support in the room for one Black person or another. And each time that I have done that, it has been at least one Black person who has countered with something like, the first time was with Dawn Robinson, remember, formerly of En Vogue, who said she was living in her car. And someone said something like, well, I'll support her as long as she's not on some okie doke. Now listen, this is not me saying that you shouldn't have a healthy amount of suspicion when it comes to the motives of others. I get that. Because while we want to be in community and we want to help other Black people, at least I do, we can't do that with blinders on. Because we do know that not all skin folk are kinfolk. That's true. But at the same time, the woman never asked for any money. She never said, hey, this is my GoFundMe. I'm living in my car. If you all can donate to my GoFundMe with the goal of $50,000. She never even did that. And even then, this woman, based on whatever situation she may have found herself in, this woman has given us hours and hours and hours of entertainment. she has been a big part, of my life in Vogue, and by her being a Black woman, that alone is going to get me to listen to her story, because that's another way that we support. Sometimes it's just listening to what someone is going through. That's also what support looks like. And then she said at the end of that video, if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribing to a YouTube channel costs you how much money? Because the last time I checked, that shit was free. As much enjoyment and pleasure that this woman has given me, I can't give her a follow on YouTube. I don't know. I think that's weird. And then yesterday over in the group, and don't get me wrong, I know that there's going to come a time when I'm going to have to remove people from that group. Because while I will give you the room to learn how to be in support of other Black people, because that's a very nuanced thing, especially considering that this world has taught Black people, especially African Americans, to be highly suspicious of one another to the point where we do not support one another. So yesterday I posted about a young Black man, and he was asking for people to support his TikTok channel. Now, TikTok has the Creator Fund, and there's so many people who get their income from the Creator Fund. He was a graduate student, and he was getting ready to lose his housing, his apartment. I believe he lived in New York, which is a very expensive place to live, but where in America isn't these days? I think that some of us do not understand and apply economics and what's going on with hyperinflation. That's another conversation. I don't want to get into that. I mean, there's a reason why we're all paying $10 for eggs right now. There's a reason why people are moving back home with their parents. There's a reason why people are moving back home with their grandparents. It's a reason, rent is insane right now. Homeowners like myself, it didn't happen to me. I mean, homeowners in general are having their house notes go up because of the cost of homeowners insurance and property taxes. 1 minute your house note is $1,500, and then next month they tell you on the 1st it's going to be $3,000, $3,200. I've seen that happen to people. And this administration is not going to make it any better. They're going to make it a whole lot worse. But anyway, this young Black man, he too didn't have a GoFundMe. I would have done a GoFundMe if I was getting ready to lose my housing. Bet your ass I would. And there was enough context in this man's video to let us know that he didn't say that being a content creator was the only thing he was pursuing. He never said that. People just assumed it. That could have been his last course of action. And all these people are content creators. You got people who are making millions, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, doing videos that said, I went from making $80,000 a year to making $400,000 a year on TikTok, and this is how I did it. Now, I never saw any of that money, that kind of nowhere near anything like that. I saw a couple $100 here, nothing there, nothing there. I think on the total of TikTok, the whole year that I was in that creator program, I got my tax thing. So it was like $1,100 in a year, a little over a year being in that program. That's how much money I made. And that's just me being honest right now. Tabitha Speaks Politics. She's a must. I use her as an example because I know her and she has a much bigger platform than I have. A much bigger. She opted out of the Creator Fund because the Creator Fund is not very fair to Black people. And if you've been a part of the Creator Fund, you kind of know that. There's some Black people who have had massive success, like Keith Lee. He's a content creator, and when you watch his reviews, that generates income for him. But you got all these white folks out here that y'all not questioning, that's making all this money, but y'all not suspicious of them. I saw a TikTok where this man was making house shoes, and his wife, little white lady, she's crying, saying he's been doing this for 7 months. No one's bought a pair of slippers from him. No one, 7 months, no one's bought a pair. I mean, what kind of marketing are they doing? I mean, have they gone to senior citizen places and given it away, put his information on there? Those are the kind of people that I'm suspicious of. You know, just because we're doing well doesn't mean that we can't empathize when other people aren't. And just because we aren't doing well doesn't mean that we shouldn't want other people to do well. As a Black person, knowing that Black people lack the most in resources and that we have the most obstacles put in our pathway, why would I ever be an obstacle for a Black person's success? Why would I not help another Black person when it is within my power to do so? That's like a Black person coming to the library pantry saying that they need food, and I don't give them food because I said I gave you food yesterday, or you could have ate yesterday. I don't know. I'm suspicious of you. I think that a lot of us Black people really truly do not know how to be in community excuse me, with other Black people. I think that we like the thought of being in community with other Black people, but a lot of us really just don't know how to do that, and that's okay. But one thing is for sure, if you're not going to help your people, if you're going to be highly suspicious of your people, you can do that without being critical, and you can do it quietly. If it ain't in your spirit to help somebody, if something in your spirit is telling you not to, something in your mind, body, soul is saying not to, you can do that quietly. I'm going to always, if that's the route that I'm going to take to not help, I'm always going to do that quietly. I am never going to say something that would discourage other Black people from helping another Black person. I'm never going to do that. Not unless I know for sure that that Black person is on some bullshit. I think a lot of you like the thought of being in community, but I think that you find it hard due to internalized racism, due to white supremacy, due to the fact that the world tells us to be suspicious of one another. But when you are to the point where you can't even spare another Black person a like, comment, share, I really think that you need to do some self-inventory, that you got some processing to do, that you got some deconstructive work to do. I think you need to sit down and start asking yourself some hard questions about how it is you really feel about Black people and Blackness. I'm just saying, this is not me trying to make you feel a certain way. This is me trying to push you to think, to challenge that ideology and that messaging that you have gotten all throughout your Black life. That man didn't ask y'all for a dime. He just said, can you go over to TikTok and like, comment, share so that I can get TikTok to pay me money. And y'all had a problem with that. And I find that weird and suspicious. I want to give you the time that you need to figure out how to be in community with Black people. I want to give you the room that you need to figure out how to be in community with Black people. I want to give you the chance to be in community with Black people. I want to give you the experience of being in community with Black people, which is why I created that room. But I'll put you out of it if you can't figure it out. Because what I can't allow you to do is to show negativity towards Black people in a space that is pro-Black. I cannot allow that. I will put you out before I let that happen. And I hope you understand my position on that. The days of us trashing each other, talking down on each other, disrespecting each other, being suspicious of each other, that has got to come to an end. Because even outside that room, in our real Black lives, we have to learn how to be in community with Black people. That's what that room is about. So that when you leave that space, you leave out feeling like you want to be in community with Black people out in the real life. That's what this is all about. We need each other now more than ever because all we got is each other. Figure it out. Figure it out. Figure it out. With that being said, I want to say thank you again to Diva Journey. Thank you so much. I'm going to get to making these bags and doing my rounds. And thanks for listening and I hope that people understand my position. I'm not trying to be a jerk about it, but it is what it is. With that being said, I will leave the link to the room down in the comments. And also, if you would like to support the platform or the library pantry, I will leave my Cash App and Venmo down in the comment as well. Thank you very, very much for listening. Have a righteous day. Do something nice for someone. And if you're not, do that quietly. Have a good day.